in the Premier League, part of our 9 hours of coverage here on Matchday Live. Wins for Palace and West Ham significantly earlier on, and even more so for Arsenal. For the 8th time this season, they've beaten Liverpool by 3-2. Don't forget, of course, stay with us. All the reaction from the Emirates and Everton, Manchester United to come your way next, and the Monday Night Football tomorrow as well. Nottingham Forest against Arsenal. And remember, those 3 points for Arsenal take them back to the top of the Premier League. They are a point clear of Manchester City, who then come Spurs and Chelsea in the top 4. And a reminder that Liverpool stay down in 10th, and they are now 14 points off the top, and no team with that deficit after this amount of games have ever gone on to win the Premier League title.
Is it not going back to the top of the table tonight that is most significant, perhaps at this stage of the season? But you've beaten Liverpool, because in recent memory they've dominated this fixture. How significant is that?
It means a lot for us. We have been working hard, and I think we deserve the win. And yeah, I think we need to keep going, because the season is long, and we want to achieve good things this season.
Bukayo, for you, what is beating Liverpool today? What does that give you more than the 3 points?
Yeah, it does, because the last 2-3 years Liverpool have been a team we've struggled against, and to win today in front of our fans is special, and it shows how much we're progressing, and yeah, we just want to continue to put in performances like this, because we can achieve good things.
And does it give you more belief?
Yeah, definitely. It gives us more confidence, because they're a fantastic team and we have a lot of respect for them. So yeah.
What was the key, do you think, today, Gabriel?
I think the spirit. I think we are running for each other, and as I said other times, we are a family, and I think everyone is on their toes, and I think, as I said, I think we deserve the win.
Was it a perfect start from you inside 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think so. I go in a great pass to be. Yeah, as I said, we are so happy, and with the 3 points, and yeah, with the goal and assist, I'm happy as well.
And Martinelli scored after 58 seconds, but the big talking point is the awarding of that penalty for Saka's winner. Let's get straight to it, because I know Michael and Wrighty have strong views. Dermot Gallagher, the former Premier League referee, is with us. The big question here, I think, Dermot, is are you surprised in any way that Michael Oliver wasn't sent to the monitor to have a look at this incident?
No, Steve, I'm not, because I think what would have happened when Michael's made his decision, the VAR and the referee will speak quickly, and I think Michael will have said to him, I'm convinced he hasn't got the ball. He's caught him across the bottom of the ankle, and in his view, it's a penalty. The VAR looks, you can see he doesn't get the ball. He does catch him across the ankle, so there's nothing to send him across and say it's a clear and obvious error for me. The pictures do reinforce what he would say to him.
It's Michael. Are we getting to a stage then, if that's the case, where we're saying touch is enough? Because for penalty, I've always been brought up and told the rules are, just because you touch someone, it doesn't have to be a penalty. Well, if we're going down that route and saying, OK, does he get the ball? Well, we're basically saying, no, he doesn't get the ball. So if he's touched him, it's a that still doesn't qualify for a penalty, in my opinion. What's your thoughts there?
Well, I don't think just because you touch somebody, it's going to be a foul. If you watch this game, it was a very physical game. It was a really, really entertaining game. There was a lot of physical contact. There was a lot of good, hard tackling. So the referee's played his part in that. I think on this occasion, he's seen that, he's felt that Jesus has been caught by Thiago. As I say, he gave the penalty, the VAR looks at it, takes on board what Michael would say, and I think the combination of the two, it's not going to change his mind.
I've got to say with that, Derm, at some stage you're going to have to look at that, because when I see that, as much as I'm delighted that my team's gone top of the league, I've got to look at that and say, I can't see where the foul is, because look at the contact. I don't feel there's enough contact for him to as a referee, knowing how the game is, for him to go down like he has for a start. He's not swung out at him and caught him on the move or anything. He's behind him, and it's minimum contact. At some stage, surely, the referees have got to see that and say, no, I'm sorry.
But VAR are seeing this.
Yeah, but they've got to look at that and say, no, he's not impeded, because look, Michael, he's standing up, he's fine.
Standing up, yeah.
They've got to look at these, because
they have looked at it.
Yeah, but it's for me, I don't see the foul, if I'm going to be totally honest. I don't see the foul.
The whole point I don't get is that as I mentioned before, you can't just say, has he got the ball? Because then you are just taking out all of that, You're basically saying touches can be a foul now. Well, that's never been the rule. It's never been the rule that if you don't get the ball, if you don't touch the ball, then it's got to be a penalty if there's a touch. And that's why I just think, hang on a minute, if you're speaking to the VAR, is there sufficient touch? It should be. Is there a sufficient touch that either prevents him from shooting, to actually bring him down? But touch, you're in the box. You're in the box. People are gonna try to stop you from.
It's just when you look at it, Mike,
to block it. You're 7 yards out.
You know when they showed the magnified one. I can't.
But we'll never know. But had Michael Oliver been sent over,
I reckon he would have kept it.
Look,
he would have kept
Mike,
it.
Look.
Probably.
Is that enough? Is that enough of a touch? He's not falling over there. Is that enough of a touch to give a pen?
Derm, is it?
Well, the only one that can answer that is Michael Oliver. He's.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Derm. I'm tired of seeing you having to come up here and answer for them. When I want to know from Michael Oliver, how can you look at that and say, yeah, that's
Would you have given that, Derm?
I don't know.
I think that says it all, though.
It's not easy being a ref nowadays, is it?
I know.
But
I know.
It's difficult. I think because it's such a good game, it's such a physical game, a decision like that stands out. But I think he's hamstrung in many ways, the VAR, because what would be fed back to him, the pictures do reinforce what Michael Oliver would have told him, and therefore he can't send him to the screen. If you can't send him to the screen, the decision's not going to be overturned.
It's so black and white.
Derm, thanks as ever.
Honestly.
Now, Righty, we should point out, Arsenal haven't had a Premier League penalty this season. Bukayo Saka took the ball off Martin Ødegaard.
Yes.
It's only his 4th career penalty. One of those was that penalty in the final against Italy. What about the character of this young man?
I'm just so pleased for him. I'm delighted for him because we've got to remember, and Michael will know, to take the penalties at some stage, you've got to say to the manager, say to the players, say to the lads, I'm on the penalties. And, for everything what he's been through, for him to go and say that, it just shows the mark of the player and what he's about. He wants responsibility. You've got to remember, what happened in the Euros, if it goes the other way around, we're talking about a young guy scoring a winning penalty to win the Euros for England. That is the responsibility that they gave him, because that is what they think of him. So it doesn't surprise me that he's somebody that would say, I'll take the penalties. Because he's just, and look how he took it with aplomb. It was brilliantly taken.
You can imagine that I don't think that this is a clear penalty. This is a very soft one. I think it would have been a situation where the ref should have another look at it. I was the only one who saw it in the first place in real time, and then just have a look at it. But Mr. England was obviously that serious that it's a penalty, and then we cannot change that anymore. Makes a bit, because first half we had that situation when Diogo, Gabriel,
the handball.
Yeah, the handball. So Mr. England thought there it's obviously nothing. I don't know why. So a couple of things went against us, but we are not blind. We see what that we could have done better in moments. But in general, it was a rather good away game. So against a good side, we caused them a lot of problems, and in the end we stand here with nothing in our hands.
Yeah, no surprise to hear Jurgen Klopp's interpretation of that decision. But with or without that penalty, did they do enough to get anything out of the game today?
No. No, I thought Arsenal definitely deserved to win the game. But I did agree with Jurgen Klopp there. I thought he was quite calm in his observations, and I thought he made some valid points. But, yes, there's been an iffy decision, let's say, that's possibly decided the game. But on balance, I don't think Jurgen Klopp's going away from London now thinking we deserved anything out of it. I thought Liverpool played reasonably well, contribute to a great Premier League game, but Arsenal were the better team. And despite that decision, deserved to win.
Now, Michael, Wright is in need of a Sunday celebration for the Premier League title leaders. So enjoy your evening, as ever. Thank you very much indeed for your company.
It's been great. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure.
Top
for
of
the
the
dream team. You
Top
know
of the
that.
league.
An exhilarating first 45 minutes then at the Emirates. Arsenal have the better of it by 2-1. Let's get straight into it. 58 seconds. That is all it took for your man Martinelli to have the effect.
Well, we knew that side was going to be a problem for him, but we'll go into it. But it's the way Arsenal have been starting, Steve. You know what I mean? Starting quickly, the crowd's all behind them, and then you're getting quality when they get into this area of the field now. real good quality pass, great movement and composed finish.
And
a
that is
brilliant start.
4 goals already in 9 Premier League games this season for Gabriel Martinelli. What about this goal then, from a Liverpool point of view?
Well, exactly, Steve. First of all, let's have a look. Just point out the 4 attacking players of Liverpool and how brave Arsenal are for starters. But we'll just run this clip at half speed. Alisson clearing the ball here. The ball gets flicked on, and then there's a little bit of ding-dong in terms of possession. Falls to Liverpool, it falls to Arsenal, but eventually Arsenal get the ball, and then we'll freeze it when there's a real decision to be made, let's say, righty. Now, Arsenal are in possession, and we highlight here Thiago.
Yeah.
He has a huge decision to make. Does he go here, or does he hold his position?
I think he should hold, Mike, because once he doesn't hold, he goes in and he actually can't do anything. He can't actually win the ball. But what he does also in that, he leaves Ødegaard. He leaves Ødegaard, and from that position, Ødegaard, then Jordan Henderson has to come across. Then that leaves all that side across, and then Ødegaard, then he goes past Henderson, if you run it on, Mike. He goes past Henderson, and he gets into a position where he's free to pass the ball.
And just before I run on, righty, just to bear in mind that normally Liverpool have another player there.
Yes.
That's their 3. There's Henderson, Thiago, and the other one. Now they've got 4 players in it, so they're one light straight away. Let's just run it along slowly, because this is the key point now. Again, when that ball is received and the decision has been made by Thiago to come in. Now what problems have they got?
Well, the problem is that now Jordan Henderson's going to have to come across. So once Jordan Henderson comes across, you see Jordan Henderson,
he'll come across.
He'll come across. So then that leaves a massive space there, and then what happens now is that Ødegaard just goes right across and unmarked all the way through, because he's got no one to pick him up.
If I just forward this along slowly, I know a lot of people will mention the high line of Liverpool, but if we just look here, if Matip is up alongside his man, i.e. Virgil van Dijk, this is offside. I know there was a VAR and it was very close, but if he had just squeezed up perfectly alongside, this would have been offside. And then the problems start, knock-on effect starts, right?
Now you can see, once he gets, you can see him there, Ødegaard going inside, because Jordan Henderson's coming across.
Now you've got this massive space
here, bam.
On the other side.
So when you run it, just watch Ødegaard just go right across, then all of a sudden Trent now has a massive problem, because he's got a man on the outside of him and he's got a man inside. Do I stay? And then the ball has to be perfect, and it is from Ødegaard. But again, he's got the time to do it because he's got no one picking him up. And then, Martinelli comes through and scores.
Can Trent do any more? I don't think it's quite hard.
No.
I mean, he's probably going to get stick for it, but I think this is quite hard. I think he gets tight enough into his centre half.
I do, and I think the ball is very good. The ball's a very good ball.
Yeah. And then we see a great finish. But could have been avoided, but a great counter-attack, Steve, from Arsenal.
And what about the response from Liverpool? And how much and pleased were you for Nunez to get that goal?
Well, he made a couple of great runs into that right channel. One, he had a shot save. The second one, he crossed the ball, and it was nearly a goal. The third one actually was quite fortunate, because Trent didn't mean to play the ball into that channel. He tried the diagonal across into more of a central area, but once that happened, it was a great little crossover. Look at Trent here. He's trying to find Diaz in the middle here, right over the top. As he miskicks it, Diaz changes his run into that channel, and they almost do a crossover.
Nunez makes a great run and gets just enough, just smothers the ball, Mike. What you should do there is smother it on target. You know what I mean? So you could get it on target. He done well there. Diaz's runs, he's made some very, very good runs. But they showed how dangerous they could be.
And then right on the stroke of half-time, Martinelli again involved.
Well, this is Arsenal again. They've got. Obviously, they're able to progress the ball, but on a counter-attack against Jordan Henderson and Trent, it's going to be a problem. I would not let him come back on his right foot. Both of them let him come back, and then great dummy from Gabriel in the middle, the centre half who's got himself up there. Great dummy from him. But I think that Jordan Henderson's doing well to hold him up, but then when Trent comes across, he doesn't give him any kind of information, he just goes straight across, and it was very, very easy for him to come back inside, if I'm going to be totally honest. And so once he's come inside, can he pick out the pass? And yes, he can.
The pace
Brilliant
of
time to score.
The pace of Martinelli is unbelievable. I mean, a real bright light, shining light, amongst other players, I must say, for Arsenal this season. But his pace is unbelievable. And again, another huge hand in a goal.